looking back on my life, I have hated school since I was 6 years old. Okay. I remember being in freaking first grade and trying to get the hell out of there. Like, cutting class as a first grader is wild, man. To even be conscious at that age that you don't want to be there is on another level. So, when I get asked questions like, should I go to school? Should I go to college? Should I get a degree in this? I am insanely biased to say no, even though I have a degree, right? I finished high school, I finished college, I got my degree, never used it a day in my life, but I did get it. And I guess you could kind of call me hypocritical in a way, but I would definitely want to explain myself before I get called hypocritical for saying, you shouldn't go to school or get a degree or anything like that. So I have to kind of go back. Like I said, at 6 years old, I'm in school, like, man, fuck this. I do not want to be here. Like, I want to be outside, playing basketball or playing with my friends or whatever. I don't want to be here. I hated science. I hated math. Everything, man. Like, I would like to go to gym class and that's it. Or we would have those field days once a year playing sports outside, and that was the only thing I looked forward to ever as a kid, or going home from school. Once I got the option in high school to kind of decrease my time there, I took advantage of that like crazy, dude. I remember, I don't know about you guys, but once you got to like 11th grade, 11th grade, you had the option of skipping your first period and your ninth period, your last period, and just using that as lunch breaks. So I would skip first period and try to make my lunch right after that, so I wouldn't have to go to school till like freaking 10 a.m., which is insane because most of us spend our whole lives going to school starting 8 a.m., right? So I would get there like 10 or 10:30, whatever it was. Um, I was good. Like, I was the only kid coming to school at 10:30, and leaving at 2:45, and that was fine from 11th, and then 12th grade. I took it to another level, and I canceled my first, second, my ninth, so I'd go to school at 10:30 and leave at 2 now. I'd have a 4-hour day at school, and the rest of my day, I'd be hanging out with my friends, or I'd be at the gym working out or playing basketball, baseball, whatever. But I was living my life to the fullest at a very young age. Like, I was so adamant about just like squeezing every inch of my childhood as I could. I just knew subconsciously, like, this school shit is a waste of time. And yes, this is only this is something where you have to be at least middle class and above to even try this, right? If you, sorry to say this, but if you're in a poor neighborhood in a very poor class family, you cannot do this because you have your family's struggling to put food on the table. Like, you must go to school. This is not for the individual who's in this situation, right? If you're in that situation, hats off. You must pursue education because the only other option is to make money doing something else, and at a young age you can't even comprehend how to get there. So school for me was like, let's most of us are born in middle class, okay? Like, especially in the West, we're all born in middle class. All of our families put food on the table, they had cars, we had a house. We're all roughly in the same boat, right? Yes, you have those who are way underprivileged and way over the top, but this isn't for those people, right? This is for the guys who, they're living a chill life. So for that individual, especially for like me, definitely school, especially college itself, I didn't learn a damn thing and I didn't want to learn anything. I used that time to just live my life to the absolute maximum. And this isn't like something I would recommend for everyone. This is just what I happen to do, only because I wasn't pursuing outside advice, right? It wasn't like I was going to self-help places looking for an answer of what to do, you know. I was told you have to go to school, so I went. You know, it wasn't like I was just gonna disobey my family's orders or whatever and not do it and just be a bum or go work at some job somewhere, even though the probability of me having more money and success today probably would have increased if I had skipped a school and just went straight to work and money. There's no guarantee, right? And some might say that, especially if you're living in first world countries, that you don't want to just waste those years, right? Like from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you're never going to get that back. So it's like, yes, the college is kind of a waste of time, not including, you know, medicine or law degrees or engineering, right? Those top three are like the super serious, you know, degrees or whatever professions. But other than that, it's like we all instinctively know, like, what am I gonna do with this business degree, bro? Like, what am I gonna do with it? Nothing. Like, I can go work whatever job I want, and they probably won't even care that I don't have the degree. Let's just be honest here. Or an art degree, liberal arts, or freaking, I don't know, history or English, whatever. It's all a waste of time. It's just you do it to preserve that time, right? So you can get away with living with a bunch of dudes and partying night after night after night after night after night because this is the space and time to do it, right? You can get away with pulling all-nighters on playing video games. You can get away with so much shit. So I would say just do it just to live all that shit. And then once it's over and done with, and then you have the degree, then go do the serious stuff, you know? Try to freaking get successful or invent some shit or build something. I don't know, whatever people do nowadays, right? There's a space, especially in the internet right now, where it's a very highly competitive space, right? So it's like you have to work 24 hours a day from the moment you leave high school or even before if you want to be successful, right? And yeah, I do agree that you need to work hard, but no one ever said when you have to start, right? No one said you have to start that shit at 18. You could goof around from 18, 19, 20, 21, and then start and still be good. Like, you could waste 10 years of your life and still be good. Should you? That's debatable, right? That's up to you. You know, if you want to do crazy stuff throughout your 20s and then at 30 be like, okay, now I'm about to work 20 hours a day. That's your decision, right? Like, you can make that decision. So in my opinion, you shouldn't follow in anyone's footsteps. You shouldn't blindly just listen to what, even if someone has all this money, like, yeah, you can take a little bit of advice, but don't just blindly like follow shit, you know? So the moral of all of this is, to get back to the topic, should you go to school, right? Should you get a degree mainly, right? Should you do 4-year school, get a degree? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, because how hard really is it, right? Like, I went to a 4-year school and I got my degree in business administration. I spent 3 to 4 hours a day on campus. And I spent less time than that a week studying or doing work, school related work, which means that, and by the way, this is Monday through Thursday, right? Most schools, you don't even go to class on Friday for most schools in this country. So that's 4 days a week for 4 hours a day, with 16 hours a week, you're in a campus, and I'll give you 3 hours of studying and schoolwork. That's all you need. So for 20 hours a week, you're doing school. You now have what? Freaking 200 other hours a week to do something else? Like, what are we even talking about here? You have not 200, like, what is it? 24 times 7, what is it, 160 or something? You have like 160 hours a week. You literally have, out of the 168 hours a week, you only have to give 20 of those to school. And yeah, you sleep 8 hours a day, whatever. So minus another freaking 50, you still have 100 free hours a week to do shit. You could do whatever the hell you want. You could be bar hopping every single day if you want. You could day drink every day, still hit the gym, still freaking work on an app or something. Like, you could literally do anything, and you have 4 years of that. Imagine 4 years where you have 100 hours a week to do anything. Like, you should be going to school, bro. Now, there's also the argument of money, right? And getting these huge school loans, but people nowadays are figuring out a way to get around this. Like, you don't need to be going to a huge school that you need to pay 20 grand a year to get in. Like, find a school that's like, 5 grand a year or something, a couple grand a year. I'm sure you could pay that loan off pretty quick. I mean, you're gonna max out credit cards anyway later, right? Like, you either get the loan on cards or or for school or something. Like, but just know, if you do pass, you are missing out on something. You're definitely missing out on something. And if you do pass and you go that route where you're cranking that work early on, your chances of probably getting more success are going to be higher too. So it's like, it's a win-win situation. It just depends on the kind of individual that you are. So be mindful of that and make your decision yourself. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. I'm just rambling on, okay? That's it. That's the end of the video. If you made it to the end, hit that like, comment down below. Again, brand new channel, just experimenting. I'll catch you guys later.